It's thinking I'm not the robot. Well, I guess it's the robot. That's the point. What edition of the Hogwarts book do you guys have? 17? I told him I didn't need the second one. No, I've already got that book. And then I realized it's 2012, not 27.
Did you already have the 2017 one?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So when you guys started, it was 2017, they made you buy a new one? Oh, that's bullshit.
Well, we
It's
didn't
like
buy it.
$10, right? That's like,
I mean, our company's small.
what about you, Moose?
What? For the book?
Yeah.
I was 2020 as well.
Are you aware that you can use your ugly book on any of my quizzes and final and stuff like that?
Well, wait now, huh?
Well, what could you have used it for?
I don't know.
But for the math that we're gonna talk about today and the pipe bending stuff. What's the meeting I need? 9:12, 7:45. 485 912-758-7485 748538384. Hey, look at all you people.
Who's not here? Chimpy, Derek. Anybody heard from them? That's right.
What?
He did tell me.
GPS COVID?
He said he got tested. Oh, there he is right there. Chimpy. He just logged on and went back to sleep, I guess.
Huh? No, okay.
Can you all see this white screen?
Yeah, man.
Thanks, bro. What do you guys remember about trigonometry? You can use
Got
that.
it, Twan.
You can use that. Right. Jay, can you mute? Never mind, I'll mute you.
Oh, TY.
Gotcha. A squared plus b squared plus c squared equals c squared is what theorem is that? Remember? Pythagorean. Yeah, you can use that. We're more going to use this. Remember this from high school? Remember that? SOHCAHTOA? What does it mean? Sine of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. Hypotenuse, that's what I said. Cosine of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And the tangent of the angle is opposite over adjacent. All we're talking about today is this math, and you will have a homework assignment and a quiz just on this math. Okay, and then we're going to apply this math to pipe bending. And once we get into the pipe bending, you'll see why we're going over this math. So if you never had this stuff before, or if you don't remember it from high school, that's okay. But in your uglies book, in the 2017 edition, it's page 158. In the table of contents under math reference, and then there's trigonometry under there, but it's kind of funky that right after that trigonometry page, it starts getting into bending offsets with trigonometry, one-shot bench. So that's where it goes, trigonometry and then the pipe bending for good reason. But if you end up in a position where you're going to be bending a lot of conduit, you're going to use this math a lot. Okie doke.
Oh, no, another hour.
Yeah, if that's how you want to remember it, that's fine. I just remember SOHCAHTOA.
Yeah, I've never heard this whole hell another hour.
Well, you can use that to your heart's desire. So what does all this mean? You have to have a right triangle. What do I mean by right triangle? Means there's one of the angles is exactly 90 degrees. And how many degrees total in a triangle? Between all three of the angles, you add them up, they equal 180. So the first thing that people get hung up on, in my experience, is the opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse stuff. So relative to this angle, where is the opposite, where's the adjacent, and where's the hypotenuse? Longest side. Hypotenuse is always, 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 always opposite of the 90-degree angle. It will never be different than that. So if that is your triangle, that's your hypotenuse. If this is your triangle, whoa. Where's the hypotenuse?
On the right side?
Yep. Always. So relative in triangle one, relative to this angle, where's your adjacent? Who put a dot there? And that leaves this opposite, correct? What does adjacent mean?
Next to.
Next to. So let's look at this angle now on this triangle. Where's your opposite and adjacent?
Distance on the left. Great thing.
All right. Everybody got a handle on that?
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's solve some triangles. Don't tell me my business, devil woman. All right, let's say on this triangle, I'm going to tell you that this is 36 degrees. I'm going to tell you that this is 4.5 inches. And I want you to tell me what this is. Why? Your screen sharing is paused. Why? How about now?
Oh. Okay.
Anybody get arrested this weekend? What happened? You want to talk about it? Okay.
Sell yourself for cheeseburgers.
Well, I'm glad you're back. You know, if you need a ride home after going to the bar, just call me. None of you have my number, but I'm just putting it out there.
We'll put you up on, hold on, I gotta zoom my teacher. Hold on.
That's Steve. Big Papa Junior. I thought he was a waffle. Why'd you have to throw the big in there? Are you insinuating something about Zach Antoine?
Very sensitive.
Are you insinuating that he is a bored man? Bored what? What? Oh. I'm kidding.
What are we talking about?
Apparently you're
How
lying.
rude Derek is.
Antoine gave an answer. Called you fat, Zach.
Now that my feelings are hurt, can we look at my triangle? All right, so how do we set this up? Why'd you pick sine? All right, so, yep. To break this down into steps, for those of you who need the review or haven't seen this or haven't seen it in a long time. Step one is always find trig function. Which trig function you need. In this case, and in every case, you're going to be given two things and you need to find a third. So whether you're given two sides and you need to find the angle, or you're given a side and an angle and you need to find the other side, you're going to be given two things and you have to find the third. So in this case, we're given an angle and one of the sides. But no matter what scenario you're given, it's always relative to the angle. So whether you're given the angle, you're trying to find the angle. Relative to the angle, what are the other two things? So relative to this angle, we have an opposite and a hypotenuse. We have an opposite and a hypotenuse, so we're using sine, right? And here's your formula. Step two, set up the formula. Sine of 36 equals what? 4.5 over x. Opposite over adjacent. How do we solve this algebraically? Correct. So here's what it looks like algebraically the long way. Whoops. Those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, and those cancel. And what you're left with is x equals 4.5 divided by the sine of 36. So who's got your calculator handy?
I got a 7.65. How far do you want it?
Let's just stick to two decimals on all of these.
7.66.
What is that? Inches? So if you look at this triangle, and all the triangles that I give you, for the most part, I think there might be one or two where it doesn't, look at it and doesn't make sense, but you should be able to look at this thing and say, okay, that makes sense. That would be about, it's almost twice the length of this side, right? If that's a 36-degree angle, this is 4.5 inches. This kind of looks like it would be 7.66 inches. If you get your final answer, which this would be step 3 then, the duh factor, let's call it the duh.
I call it the DA factor.
Da,
D-A-H. My initial command.
da, da.
Ta-da.
Step 3.
So you're doing dolt times da?
Yes. Yes. Minus.
Oh, minus.
You know what I mean though, right? Look at it and say, does that make sense? If you come out with an answer that's 47.956.
Sounds good.
No, doesn't make sense. Okay. So we're going to do some examples here, and then you have a homework assignment. And I think for the sake of us getting through this stuff together, I will assign the homework for Wednesday morning. And then if everybody's cool, we'll go ahead and take the trig quiz so we can move on to the other conduit bending stuff. Instead of making all that stuff due at the end of the semester, I'd like to get through this stuff together. Okay, so that's a scenario where you're given an angle and you have to find one of the sides. We're going to do another example with two sides where we find the angle because people get hung up on that. If you didn't bring your calculator,
Computer has one built in, doesn't it?
yeah, but I want to make sure you guys know how to. I guess if you're having trouble with your calculator when you do your homework, come find me because it's going to be important that you know how to put this in. But let's see, if I do it on here, it'd be 4.5 divided by sine 36. Oh, I guess not.
That's right. How you're gonna control it, that's super hard.
Okay, so you have to hit 36 and then whatever, stupid thing. So I think come on. There it is. Right, but this calculator, you put 36 and then hit the sign button. And on these, if this is the one you're using, when you hit that sign button, it's going to take the sign of whatever is on that screen right then and there. So 4.5 divided by the sine of 36. Right now it's showing me what the sine of 36 is. And then I have to hit equals. There it is, 7.66. On here, I'd have to go 4.5 divided by 36 sine equals 7.66. If you're using this kind of calculator and you're having trouble on your homework, give me a call. That was a joke. Somebody in here's got my number. I don't remember who I gave it to. I don't remember. Okay. Questions? All right. If you're not speaking up, I'm assuming that you're following me. So. Okay. Let's say on this triangle, same thing. We're given. You all right?
Yeah.
483.2 millimeters. And let's say this is, it doesn't make sense. 212.1 millimeters. And I want you to find this angle, and I'm going to call it alpha. Step one,
Opposite over adjacent.
Figure out
Tangent,
function we're using.
which function are we going to use?
tangent. Opposite over.
Relative to this angle, we're given an opposite and the adjacent, so we're going to use tangent. So screw this. We're just going to skip it. Step two, set it up. How would we set up that formula?
X is equal to 200. Yeah, the tangent of X is equal to 210, whatever that is, over 483.
So how do you solve for alpha?
Divide those and take the tangent of that.
Take the tangent of it?
And divide first, and then take the tangent of it. Right?
You don't have the angle, so you.
Inverse tangent. This is another area that people get hung up. So yeah, you can divide these first. Algebraically, here's what it looks like. You divide both sides times, divide both sides by tangent. And dividing this side by tangent is also the same as saying times 1 over tangent, right? Well, this in and of itself, anytime you have 1 over something, that's like saying the inverse of it, right? So this would be like saying times inverse tangent, or tangent minus 1. So then what you're left with is the angle alpha is inverse tangent of 212.1 divided by 483.2. What angle does this sort of look like?
45.
It looks like a 45-degree angle.
I have not yet. Well, 30.
Somewhere around 30.
32.5.
Yeah, what that
Yeah, 30. It looks kind of like a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if we get an answer that's somewhere close to that, then we know we're good. How do I do? There's inverse tangent. So if I go, what is it? What are the numbers? It's like 212 something.
Can't see your screen.
Not when I have it big like that.
212.1.
212.1 divided by 483.2 equals inverse tangent 23.70 degrees. Makes sense, right? How do I, what the fuck? Oh boy.
Get done deal.
I'm like, what's you doing over there, Tom? All I saw was this and then this.
All right. How do I get to freaking? There we go. What answer did I just get? 20, 20 what?
23.70.
You think I would turn that?
All right. So that's one example of each kind. Are you all like, you seem like you're all like, yeah, this is boring. We don't need this. So are we done? Or you want to do more examples?
I mean, we can do a couple more. I mean, I think we've done this stuff a decent amount in the past. I think most of us did it. The general gist of the.
I mean, it's fine if you're good. If you're good, well, I'll just cut you loose and you can turn in the homework.
Do one more. Yeah,
Do one more. Who gonna do one? Okay.
Well, that's a pretty nice looking freaking.
Thanks, bro.
Nice triangle back.
All right. Let's pick this angle and let's say 40, 43.69 degrees. This is 8 miles
Gee,
Let's see what.
big sum.
and this is 8 miles. And I want to find, let's call this one D.
Okay.
Find D.
Is this like
Find the D.
is this like the who's got?
Jimmy, find the D.
It's who's in my mouth, Jimmy.
That's what it was.
Hard to
Sorry.
remember.
I was forgetting. I'm sorry. You threw me off and asked me if Wade was a brand name.
Played it before.
All
You
right.
use cosine like that.
Set it up. What
43.69 is equal to adjacent 8 miles over D.
formula are we using? Cosine. We have an angle and we're given adjacent. We need to find the hypotenuse. So we're going to use cosine. So set the formula. Adjacent over hypotenuse, so 8 over D. Solve for D. D then equals what?
11.06.
Yeah? Seems dumb, but like I've used this stuff in real life applications outside of conduit bending. Like, how tall is that tree? Because I need to set a pole with an antenna on top. This is dumb, but it's a true story. Out in the boonies where I used to live, and they didn't offer high-speed internet at the time. I needed to set a pole with an antenna. They had this company that would use farmers' silos to like network high-speed internet. It was cheap,
That's like 5G now.
but I had tree lines to get out of the way of. So what size wood pole do I need? Figure out how far away I'm standing from the tree, and then I had this thing that would tell me the angle, and I could figure out how tall that tree was. So
Why don't you just climb the tree?
look at me. Think I'm gonna climb a tree?
Not everyone's a weasel, I suppose.
Okay, so when we get into the conduit bending, you'll see why we need this math. But for right now, if everybody's good, there's a homework assignment. Let me check. Have any of you looked at it yet?
Not that one. Aw.
I gave you a couple of.
Trig homework?
How many questions are on that deck?
I don't know. Click on it.
Oh God, there's a lot. There's like 12.
There is not a lot. 30 speed, 97.
12. All right. See, all this other stuff, all this other homework you can do. The troubleshooting homework, the motors homework, those come from PDFs. Have any of you started those yet? Done those yet? Yeah? And you found the PDFs? So under course content, troubleshooting, there's PowerPoints and anyway, all these files that you can download to do that homework. And then under course content, motors, that's for the motors homework. And then that 9-lead 3-phase motors, you guys should all have that fresh on your minds from 150. So I'm not even gonna go over that unless you want to. But it's the same homework assignment that you had with me in the last class. So there is all that homework. Let's make the trig homework due Wednesday. '21st at 9. Okie doke. And what else do we have? I think the other homework is all due at the end of the semester. Trig homework, the Trig quiz, we'll take that on Wednesday. So all the other homework is due on the 7th. Okie doke. I know, like, look at December 7th on your calendar. All this crap is due, right? Keep in mind that after Thanksgiving break, we're not going to be in here. So you're going to have a shit ton of time to work on this homework from home.
Is that last day?
The 7th, I believe. So, all right.
So we wait for that to fall.
Is this your last semester? December. After Thanksgiving break, we cannot be on campus anymore. So,
How long do we get off for Thanksgiving break?
a week.
A week?
I think it's the week of Thanksgiving. All right. So Wednesday we'll go over the homework if you need to, take a quiz, and we'll start getting into the conduit bending PowerPoint. It's just my spiel on conduit bending, and then from that point you'll have other labs that you can do. I would save those till later though. Get your troubleshooting labs done before Thanksgiving break, and if nothing else, we'll send you home with a conduit bender and some pipe to do those labs from home.
Lay some pipe at home? I mean, everyone but Jamie. It's the addition.
You can lay some pipe at home, but you got to find the D first.
Jay-Z will
Did you
have
get
no
it?
problem with that.
Did you get it?
We got it. Wait, can you explain it?
No,
Not quite sure I understand that.
we're done. Chimpy,
Hey, tell them that Jay-Z just read what.
Chimpy,
Cheddar bitches.
are you there?
Birthday champ.
Type Y, if alive.
All right. Well, I hope he was paying attention to that.